And now back to Open Mic Friday with Mike Spence and Butter.
Well, welcome back. Open Mic Friday, second half of the show. We just had a great butter break. Exciting as always. Butter fell asleep. We're back with Cecily Smith, the new executive director for the Foothill Conservancy. And we're really proud to have you as a guest, Cecily. That was very informative about wild and scenic designation and some of the different projects. But you're really involved with a number of different projects. I know not only the river, but you also do a lot of the forestry and timberline, and I know you have a big project. Why don't you tell us about more of the projects out in the woods themselves?
Yeah, sure. Well, just as a reminder, the Foothill Conservancy, we work in both Amador and Calaveras County, and so when you think about what that means, basically we are starting at the forest level and then going down to the foothill area. So there's a lot of diversity in the types of lands that we have here that we work with. So one project that we have been involved with for a little more than a year now is called the Amador Calaveras Consensus Group. And this is a group of 20 plus stakeholders from all different types of agencies, some nonprofits. We have the Calaveras County Board of Supervisors is also involved. And this group is looking to examine types of restoration on the forest lands. We have a number of concerns with wildfires in the area, stream quality. Forests are very important for a healthy forest helps us keep our watershed healthy, because the rain and the snow melt can actually soak in and maintain our water tables. So the forests really provide a number of benefits to us. And so some of the things that this project has been doing is actually some restoration, stream restoration, some thinning of areas. The importance of thinning, of course, it's partly for the fuel reduction.
Figuring out exactly which specific areas to thin,
right,
which is a science in and of itself.
Yeah, and so when we actually, in these times, when we talk about forest restoration, particularly in these areas where there have not been, where fires have been suppressed for so many years, we're talking about trying to recreate the type of conditions that existed when fires were just a part of the natural regime. So that means that you will, as part of restoration, you will be taking some trees out, you will be taking that undergrowth out that has just been allowed to grow because fires have not been a part of the regime.
I know there are a lot of guys who go up and do the firewood thing, and they get a permit to cut firewood, and they used to be able to kind of drive off into the woods and take a tree here and take a tree there, and now they have to stay on the road. I know there's a lot of commenting about, wow, now I can't go off the road. Has that changed over the years? Is that something that you guys regulate, or
well, that's something
more of the Department of Forestry?
Yeah, that would be the National Forests that deal with that. That's not anything that we're involved with.
Right. I know they always blame the Foothill Conservancy.
Just
wondering.
We do everything.
You guys get blamed for a lot.
We do.
And I don't think you have anything to do with commercial businesses on the highway or anything like that.
We don't.
The general plan, we're kind of working on that general plan still
Yes,
over here in Amador County.
We are.
I know that there's been kind of a little budget shortfall, and it's been kind of put on hold. It's been kind of in a holding pattern for quite a few years since I've been here. But, does the Foothill Conservancy want to kind of hold on to that and wait and have more input on that general plan, or do they benefit by getting it finished?
Well, we definitely want to see it move forward because it is the blueprint for what will be happening in the county, particularly in terms of development and where we develop. So again, there's a misconception that Foothill Conservancy is an anti-growth, anti-development group, and we're not. What we want to see happen is that if we are going to develop or grow our area, we want to make sure that it's done where there is existing infrastructure, where we do have a safe water supply, because we don't have the money to be building roads, water pipes out in these
sustainable economic areas that are already existing.
Exactly. So we very much support the idea of infill development. So let's stay within this pretty much developed area, and where we have these pockets of open spaces, why don't we develop those first? Because again, that is where our infrastructure is. That's going to save the county, the cities, and ultimately the people that pay the taxes for these things money.
Right.
And again, in the long run, it will preserve the working lands that we have that are very important and have been here for generations. It'll preserve those open spaces that a lot of us live here to enjoy.
And it preserves the character overall and gives developers an idea of an outline of exactly what the community needs. And just providing those services and focusing on providing a few more services. I know up country we're kind of struggling.
Right.
You know, a lot of things are closing. We're losing a lot of services.
Right.
We have a medical clinic that's, temporarily closing, the grocery store issue. We have a lot of different issues in terms of some growth, but keeping it within the character. Up country is a wonderful example for, your different areas. It's a little microcosm of rural communities. It's a very interesting thing that's going on up there. And we want to have a little bit growth, but make sure that it's responsible, and that general plan would be a big help for that. I know you have a film festival coming up. That's going to be exciting. I'm an avid paddler, so I saw that there were different movies on paddling, kayaking, and it's coming up at the Senior Center. When is that going to be?
That's going to be Saturday, June 8th.
June 8th.
At the Amador Senior Center. It's actually the Real Paddling Film Festival. So this is an international festival that is toured around the world. It's going to be in at least 100 cities. And the winners are selected. I don't know how many entries are actually sent in, but there are 10 different categories. And so from the entries, they choose these award-winning films, and then they tour them around the world. So we're going to be one of the hosts for that, which is very exciting.
Great, yeah. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. I love watching paddling movies. It's always, I used to lead paddling, kayaking tours for nonprofit bird observatory, groups and things down in the Bay Area, out in San Francisco Bay and things. And I love paddling in the alpine lakes, Caples and Silver Lake are just beautiful to paddle and, get out there with groups. And it's great to see a film festival, that's really unique to Amador County. That'll be the first one I've gone to, so it's nice to see those types of things, more recreational kind of things. I always enjoy going out to places like Colorado where they do that like every other day. Right. But around here, we're interested in those types of things. I think we're going to have a good turnout with that.
I hope so.
And I know you have other projects. We have just another minute or two out in the San Joaquin Valley. I mean, you really kind of stretch out.
We do, and again, because we're concerned about water and land, water doesn't stay within political boundaries. Right. And the McCollum has been looked to as a water source for many different uses. And one project that we're going to be involved with that's starting soon is called Mokwise, and that will be working on with, again, a collaborative effort with our group, groups in the San Joaquin Valley, to look at the problem of overpumping. And so what are solutions that we can come to that will help that lack of water without necessarily assuming that we can go to the McCollum River for that.
Right. Well, we've had a number of politicians, on the show here, and they always say, my grandfather always say, alcohol's for drinking and water's for fighting over.
Absolutely.
So I really want to help you in any way we can, with your efforts. There at the Foothill Conservancy. You're in a touchy position, and we want to make sure everybody stays tuned to TSPN for more programming. And thanks again for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Okay, great to see you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Cecily.
You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader, TSPN.